Good government groups in New Hampshire are keeping an eye on several bills expected to come back next legislative session. They say the bills would restrict voting rights from requiring voter ID to expanding voter roll purges. Last week, the state Supreme Court struck down a Republican-backed 2017 voter registration law that would have created new forms that voters would have to fill out to prove residency if they register within 30 days of an election. Liz Tentarelli with the League of Women Voters of New Hampshire says that's burdensome to many voters.
This was a bill that, through its complexity alone, would discourage voting. This ruling finally says that the state needs to make its election law fair to all, clear to all.
She adds that voters already have to live in New Hampshire. If they don't have photo ID, they are required to sign an affidavit attesting to their identity and domicile. She says this additional requirement that the court struck down would have brought unnecessary confusion, especially for college students. The ruling came days after the U.S. Supreme Court upheld two voting laws in Arizona that opponents say harm access to voting in primarily Black, Brown, and Indigenous communities. Tentarelli says the League is preparing to testify against multiple bills next session, including one that would require applications for absentee ballots to be notarized.
There's no evidence that people who voted absentee were doing so fraudulently. So why do we suddenly need a signature notarized in order to get an absentee ballot? The only reason is to hinder people from voting.
She says New Hampshire's current voting laws make the process secure and adds that access to voting is not a partisan issue and should be protected by everyone. For New Hampshire News Connection, I'm Lily Bolke.